I was the third woman in the state of New Mexico licensed to cut men's hair. And there was only one person that would allow me to work with him here in Clovis, and that was Floyd Talley. We had lots of fun and all. I met Ronald Reagan in the hotel. They had 2-hour layovers on the trains, and so he came to the hotel to spend his 2 hours. I cut Bob Wills's hair, and I cut the first black man's hair publicly, because Mr. Talley told me when I came to work that morning that there was a group there from Oklahoma, and when they realized I was a young white woman barber, well, they'd catch him busy and me not, and that's the way it went. And I worked down there for 10 years, and I've been in this building since then. But I have some very pleasant memories. A.W. Scarda was the first person who moved into the hotel, and he lived there until he died. And had lots of people that were very, very good to me that worked there, and I was rather spoiled. I was so naive, I didn't know anything when I went to work, but so I was well taken care of. And we had lots of musicians that stayed in the hotel, and Norman Petty and them would come in there, and we had all kinds of people that would stop over and come in and spend the night or something, and I loved it, and I do not want anything done to it except to restore it, because I have very fond memories of it. And if somebody wanted to talk to me on the phone, the ladies at the desk would come and get me and take me out to the desk to talk to them. And the ladies in the dining room spoiled me rotten and fixed me a good meal for a light price. And I just have real pleasant memories. I thought Ronald Reagan was one of the nicest looking young men that I ever seen. He was an actor at that time. I never dreamed he'd be president, but he did spend about 2 hours down in the hotel visiting with us old gals.
What are your fondest memories of the Hotel Clovis?
The fact that the people could live in it and take their own furniture up to their rooms, and everybody took care of everybody. And when I had my last child, I had worked for 5 years. My husband was dying from a heart problem, and he chose this occupation for me. And when I was pregnant with the child, the people in the dining room made sure that I had everything I needed. And when he was born, I got so many gifts from everybody over there. At that time, they had a curio shop, a dress shop, a beauty shop, our barber shop, and the dining area on the ground level.
What did the Hotel Clovis mean to the downtown area at that time?
People at that time thought that it was a precious object. It was built in 1929, and it has lots of things that has gone on. They used to have wrestling, and the wrestlers stayed in the hotel and were real friendly with each other until they got in the ring, and they just acted like they hated each other. And I cut the first black man's hair publicly, and the whites and the browns would not let me cut their hair that saw me do it for about a month. And we just had a real good time.
What do you think should happen to the Hotel Clovis right now?
I think it should be restored because it's a historical building. It's on the National Historical Register. And I do not want it torn down. It was the tallest building in a 400 to 500 mile radius when it was built. I know they have higher ones now, but at that time it was the tallest building in any of the areas around. And all kinds of actors and things spent nights there. And they'd come in this building and do a show and then go down to the hotel and spend the night before they'd go home.
What do you think will happen to the downtown area if they tear it down?
It'll destroy it. I just can't hardly believe anybody would want to tear the hotel up. I know it's going to cost a lot of money to fix it, but people spend a lot of money for stuff that's a lot less value than that. Because it's whatever the politicians want more than what is really necessary. And I just feel real glad that there's some people that want it taken care of. Vote for the restoring of the building because it's something that will keep Clovis from falling apart. I just can't understand why anyone would want to destroy history. Because that's what the hotel is history of the United States. Been lots of popular people have stayed there, and the period of time I was there, I saw lots of them. I cut their hair, visited with them. I got wrote up in the Houston Chronicle when I was there. I'd worked 3 years, and me being a woman barber, I was a real important to this editor from the Houston Chronicle. So when he got back to Houston, he wrote up an article about me and sent me a copy, and another somebody sent me a copy. And I just have such fond memories of people that stayed there and the people that worked there. And when they put the bar in the hotel after Clovis became wet, the manager took me in before they opened it because he said he knew I would not set foot in there after they opened it. And then they built a beer thing, I think it was, in the basement called the Cellar. And the manager they had then took me down and showed it to me because they knew I would not set foot in a bar. And I just think it'd be a shame to tear it up. We need to keep history because it's worth something for the younger people to learn about the old things. And I just don't see any point in destroying it.
What was the ballroom like?
The ballroom was probably 30 by 60 foot or better. I hadn't thought about that much, but when I was a senior, the juniors took us over to the hotel for our banquet, the junior-senior banquet. And so, but when I was a tiny kid, Mother and Daddy one time went to a dance there, and they took blankets and pillows and laid us down under the stairway, and then they had a good time, and we slept after a while. And it just has a lot of precious memories, because there was important people that was there, and I just can't understand why anyone would not appreciate the seeing of the hotel. And if you tear it up, that's the end of it. So I think they should keep it.